Hey peeps, so today we're going to do a, what do we call this? A re-unboxing of the Wildwood Tarot, Wherein Wisdom Resides by Mark Ryan and John Matthews with card illustrations by Will Worthington. I purchased this deck such a long time ago, back when it first came out or around that time, and it was really popular and everyone was using it. And then just long term, just, you know, as is my usual story, peeps, like through moving, I wasn't connecting with it enough to justify keeping it in my collection at the time. But the other day I kept hearing the Wildwood Tarot over and over and over again in my head, and here we are. I ended up repurchasing it. We will find out why over the coming months, but I thought I would share unboxing it and just reapproaching this deck with kind of fresh eyes and choosing not to judge it based on my past experiences with the deck itself, but to have a new experience working with it. So the back says, the Wildwood Tarot will take you on a mystical journey for answers. Look to the heart of a primeval forest where deep ancestral wisdom lies to help make sense of your world today. A beautifully illustrated card deck, the Wildwood Tarot is fun to use as a meditation system, a divinatory oracle, or a source of profound knowledge. The cards draw inspiration from pre-Celtic mythology and a belief system steeped in shamanic mysteries. It's easy to quickly access the magical lore of the Wildwood through descriptions of each card, revealing its historical and mythological background as well as its divinatory meaning. And then it goes on to describe a little bit more about the archetypes, forest archetypes. So there's 78 full color cards and a 160-page guidebook. And it is published by Sterling Ethos out of New York. Runs about $24.95. And yes, I purchased this deck with my own funds. I'll put the link to purchase via Amazon down below if you need that. Of course, I always recommend purchasing local and small business if you can, but if not, I will put that link down below. No, I do not make any money off the link. Okay. So the box is nice and kind of silky and shiny. And you know, really, it's been the mystical botanical, or the botanical oracle that I was gifted last week has really, like, I can't even tell you guys, like, I'm so in love with that deck. Like, I'm seriously lusting after it. Like, I freaking love that deck. But I think that was really why I kept feeling this like Wildwood Tarot. So I'm almost wondering if I'm gonna work with these two together. So the inside of the box is just a basic white. Oh, I forgot that you know what else I realized I think I did last time, which don't quote me on this because I might not have, but I think I took the white borders off and that actually kind of ruined it for me because I lost some of the phrasing for each of the cards. So I'm not going to do that this time. I'm going to make a concerted effort to not do that. So here is the guidebook. It's nice and meaty. And as I recall it, yeah, it definitely gives you plenty of information. So you get, like for each suit, there's like a description of the suit in the minors, card reproduction, animal associated with, position on the wheel. There's a meaning. There are reading points which allow you to associate the card in specific aspects of your life. And then some questions that you can use for journaling prompts. And then there are tracks and pathways for each card. And for the majors, you have a little bit more information given, but roots and branches are there instead of the tracks and pathways. And if you're drawn to this deck, as I recall, the introduction is really nice and helping you understand the mythology that, I'm so sorry, my voice is going today. The mythology that has gone into this deck. Okay, I think my backings used to just be green. I don't know that I like that backing. It's not quite my aesthetic. Card comparison. Here is the Ritual Tarot to compare size-wise, or the Earthbound Oracle. And there are two, like the deck comes in two piles, two stacks, I should say, not two piles. within the deck. It's nice and hefty. The cardstock is very slick. It's very slippery, but it's a nice thick quality cardstock. So I think it's definitely a deck where, like, if you take care of it, the cardstock's going to last a really long time for you. It's a little slippery. It's a shiny card deck. I mean, it's going to slip around a little bit. So there's the Fool, which has become the Wanderer. The Magician becomes the Shaman. The High Priestess becomes the Seer. The Empress is the Green Woman. The Emperor becomes the Green Man. The Hierophant becomes the Ancestor. Forest Lovers. Here we have the Archer instead of the Chariot. The Stag. The Hooded Man. The Wheel. The Woodward. I felt like mine weren't as shiny last time. The Mirror. I love this. This card I remember and I love. The Death card becomes the Journey. See, I don't mind so much when they change the names across the structure to work with their Celtic myths and archetypes. Like, I'm okay with that. It's when we change, it's like when we change it and I don't understand why. Why did we change the traditional associations? There's the Guardian. Ouch, that hurt. The Blasted Oak for the Tower. The Pole Star. The Moon on Water. Love that imagery. The Sun of Life. And the Great Bear. Yeah, I'm going to be using this with that Botanical Oracle I was just gifted. I can already tell. The World Tree. So the court cards have animal associations. Here we have Kingfisher with King of Arrows. Swan for the Queen. Hawk for the Knight. Wren for the Page. Then the Ace of Arrows is Breath of Life. And then we have keywords. Injustice here for the 2. Interesting. Jealousy for the 3. 4 is Rest. Let's see, we get frustration there. Transition. Insecurity. Interesting keyword struggle. Struggles in this card. Keyword choices, what I meant to say there. Interesting keyword choices. Dedication with the 9. The 10 is instruction. Okay, so we're gonna have to, guidebook will be referenced before I do my updated review. King of Bows is Adder. Queen of Bows is the Hare. The Knight is the Fox. The Page is the Stoat. The Ace of Bows is Spark of Life. Okay, so this would be our wand suit. So we were just in the swords, now we're in the wands. I like the keyword. I don't know that it's the keyword I would necessarily choose, but I've got to get back into reading in order to, you know, make sure I'm remembering right. I'm about to, there's a little nudity in this image just in case you don't want to see that. It's artistically represented, but. Eight of Bows is Hearthfire. That's interesting. The 9 is Respect. The 10 is Responsibility. And then we move into the stone suit, which is the earth element, typically the Pentacles. So the Queen's a bear. Not my favorite depiction of a bear, but I get what they're showing. Horse. Page is a lynx. The Ace of Stones is Foundation of Life. It's Challenge. Creativity. Protection. Endurance. 6 is Exploitation. Interesting. The 7 is Healing. 8 is Skill. The 9 is Tradition. 10 is home. Then for the vessels, for the cups, we have heron. The queen becomes salmon. The knight is eel. And the page is otter. Ace of vessels is the waters of life. Here we have the two of vessels, which while I understand what's inside of this imagery, it's not, you know, it doesn't, no, I didn't repurchase this deck because I love the artwork so much I had to have it. I repurchased this deck because I kept hearing Wildwood Tarot, and I'm far enough along in my path as a witch to know that when I keep hearing something over and over, it's smarter to just do what I'm being asked to do instead of avoid it and make everyone's lives more difficult while I'm figuring out how to get back on track down the road. So there's a reason why I have this deck. Don't understand why yet, but it's back in my life. I don't hate the artwork. I'm a little more okay with it than the Druidcraft Tarot, which is another deck that I ultimately gifted, but I'm intrigued to put this with my Botanical Oracle and go from there insofar as, like, I'm not really sure why I'm supposed to have this deck again, but it keeps coming up. And like I said, it's better to just do what I hear than have to make up for it down the road. But I'm gonna, as always, let you guys know how working with this deck goes down the road. And I am, as always, intrigued by the Celtic mythology. And so having a deck that honors that and brings that to the table in a slightly different way than, say, the more romanticized version of like Darkwood Tarot does. Like, this is a little more rooted into the traditional mythology, right? Instead of the essence or the spirit. So I'm looking forward to working with that. I do like the card size. I don't like that from being stored separately. There's a very clear switch, which I will, after it's like already starting to, I might not like this cardstock, guys. Look, one of them is straight and one of them is warped. A little bit, just enough to irritate the heck out of me. It's all right. After I clear it, hopefully that will disappear. Anyhow, this has been an unboxing of the re-unboxing of the Wildwood Tarot. If I have other videos from way back in the day on the channel, I will post those in the description box below. If not, I worked with this deck a lot back in the day until it just didn't really resonate. And I think I took the borders off, and that was part of what I ended up not liking, was trying to recall the card titles whilst reading for other people. But how the relationship develops again remains to be seen. As always, I am sending you all so much love and many blessings. I'll see you in the next video.